Come on in, good people. Come on in. Come on in, good people. Come on in. Come on in, good people. Let me take my phone out of my pocket. Come on in, Jamar, what's goody? What's goody, brother? Y'all know the comments be late, so sorry about that. Brian, what's up? Who that? Is that Brand Trav or Brian Trav? Who that? Let me know who you are so I can know. I don't know you by that name, that Facebook name. Let me know so I can know who I'm talking to. Y'all, come on in. Let's talk, bro. Let's talk. I got my keyboard on too, but we really gonna talk. Let's talk. Musicians, come up in here. Brandon, what's good? Mont, what's good? Y'all tag artists, tag musicians, tag producers. Let's talk. Let's talk. Do. Brandon, what up? I ain't know who that was. Brand Trav, now I know. The comment's late, so if I respond late, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me save this session. I'm going to just save it. What? PD, what's good? PD, you out here working, bro. Shout out to everybody who had programs this weekend, gigs this weekend. Shout out to the Legends Gang. Shout out to everybody who been doing concerts in the last couple of weeks since I've been over here. Quartet fam, gang. Y'all come in here, let's talk, bro. Is my hat straight? Because, you know, my hat be looking funny. Hold on, let me check my hat, bro. Oh, no, that ain't right. Hold on. I'm fixing my hat, y'all. Hold on. I mean, it's all right. It's a little raggedy, but it'll be all right. Ain't it? Yeah, it's straight. Come in, let's talk, yo. Let's talk. Man, all I've been seeing this weekend. Hey, the Soul Seekers, they did a concert in Atlanta at House of Hope, and that jump was amazing. That the Soul Seekers is somebody we need to talk about because some people love them, some people hate them. The reasons why they're hated is because people don't feel like that they deserve to be. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me good. People don't feel like the Soul Seekers deserve to be respected as quartet artists because of their outside accomplishments. Some people think they are not authentically quartet because of their outside accomplishments. I have never understood it, but people think they not real quartet. It sounds crazy, but we have this thing where major success, industry success, actual financial success, awards, accolades, it's like it can't live in. We have a problem where we don't think highly of ourselves enough to be associated with greatness. And anything that is great is not real to us. So they feel like they play quartet. They pretend to be quartet when it's convenient. People were mad because they won a Stellar that year. They ain't a real quartet group. They came out of nowhere, and all these other groups been out here for so long. How they get how all the other groups get overlooked is politics. All awards are politics. Ain't no award that ain't politics. If you don't know the voting process, if you don't know how to make sure your music is where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there, if you ain't on these different boards and have relationships with these different peoples, you ain't winning no awards. All awards are politics. What is you talking about? Oh, the Soul Seekers back in the day, when the Soul Seekers won a Stellar, the quartet community was mad because people felt like they came out of nowhere and weren't no real quartet group and weren't true to the game and the culture and were just only winners because of who they were. That's what the narrative was when the Soul Seekers won that award that time, when they put out that first album. Fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I'm right because I heard people tell me what I'm telling y'all. But yeah. So is quartet only alternative? You only look. TJ, you just said a mouthful that needs to be addressed. TJ, you just asked a question that needs to be addressed because we as quartetters have a hard time. We've played victim so long that it's hard for us to see ourselves be of any high stature. So that's why people don't respect Lisa and Tim, because they are in circles that we've played victim. The circles that Tim and Lisa be in, quartets don't respect those circles because they feel like those genres and the powers that be in those genres are the reason why quartet has been stifled or pushed aside or ignored. So it can get tough. It's a sticky situation, but it's a conversation worth having. It's a conversation worth having. And if you know Jubu, if you know his mama, if you know Warren, if you know them, yes, they are extremely successful in multiple genres. But they love quartet and they sometimes make records. Y'all be hearing the records they be making. They be fire. And they pay a lot of homage to what we would consider traditional quartet. So they deserve to be respected. I've always respected them. I know them as the Soul Seekers and I know their work. Tony, Mary, Luther Vandross, of course, Nissan with Aaliyah, of course, Eric Seats and all of them, who was a part of like the last Aaliyah album, Rock the Boat. And then, of course, Mike Burrell from West A. Then you got Chris Payton. Now you got Charlie Burrell. It's so many. They all elite. It's a bunch of them. No, if quartet is pushed aside, it's because... If quartet is pushed aside, it's because the quartet community won't get out of their own way. Woo! Woo! Dowdy, what's good? What's good? I will say this. It is easy to blame systems. It's easier to blame systems than to take accountability. However, there are always systematic things at play in all things. There are politics in all things, but there is also accountability in all things as well. And as a quartet community, from my experience living it, learning it, contributing to it, being a part of it, being a winner in it, being a loser in it, being a victim in it, even being a villain in it. There may be some people that say I've been a villain in certain situations. There's normally a heavy lack of accountability when it comes to things that we should do, should not be doing, should be doing less of, or should be doing more of. When those conversations come, people normally respond to me with, yeah, but, or yeah, that sound good, but. I'm normally, when I have conversations with people, like I don't have personal conversations with people anymore about it, because it takes a lot of energy to have conversations with people who come into it with limiting beliefs. When you have conversations with people who enter the conversation with limiting beliefs, your conversation can only go as far as their limits. So if a person can only see quartet in school gyms and churches, it's pointless to have an arena conversation. Does that make sense? I'm on talking arenas to a person who can only see high school gyms. I've already lost. It's already like the conversation is over before it starts, because the person is coming into the conversation with limiting beliefs. And there are narratives where people kind of shut down quartet. It's like contemporary people don't fool with quartet. Hey, Tay, what's up? And I've seen, like, even with the Scoot Challenge, people like, y'all doing the Scoot Challenge, but y'all don't like quartet. That's funny. It's 100%. For me. Devin, what's up? It's important. It's important that us as a quartet community kind of take the chains off of what we're capable of, and look at Lisa and Tim as a blueprint and not an exception to the rule. And we have to stop discrediting their success and disrespecting their relationships when we could be benefiting from them. There are so many more talented quartet artists who could be in way bigger rooms if they didn't have limiting beliefs. You could be in way bigger rooms if you didn't have limiting beliefs. A lot of what's not happening is not because we're not capable, but because we don't have the capacity to believe that it's possible. Therefore, we don't put in the actions to make it happen. When you don't believe it's possible, you don't try to make it happen. When you don't believe something is possible, you don't try to make it happen. So a lot of what we don't see in quartet is not because peaceable. A lot of what we see in quartet is not because people aren't capable. It's because people don't believe it's possible, so they don't try. Gwen Atkins, she's a vet, and she said facts. When you don't believe it's possible, you don't try to make it happen. Bam said ignorance. Terrence, Bam said ignorance. Some of y'all know him as Bam. Some of y'all know him as Terrence Key, MD for DMD, gang in the building. It's like, yes, it's a lot of ignorance, but in 2025, about to be 2026 in a few weeks. I'm up here, I post statuses and I go live because ignorance can't be an excuse with Google and Gemini and ChatGPT and all of these things. What does it take to be successful? What does it take to be a successful artist? What does it take to be a successful independent artist? What are trends that independent artists use on social media? What are the most popular social media platforms? What does it take to be on radio? How do you get your song on a stellar ballot? What is the process to becoming a Grammy nominee? How long should songs be? Hey, it's okay, let me address the ignorance thing even deeper. Ignorance is an excuse when you refuse to search. When you stop at, I ain't know no better. I don't know no. We are literally in the information age where ignorance, although ignorance is true. People are ignorant. People don't know. But in the information age, I didn't know don't work no more. Just say, I don't know, I don't want to know, and I'm cool where I'm at. If that's you. If that's you, and that's how you want to be, that's cool. Please don't have nobody in your group or in your band or on your staff that ain't okay with mediocrity. Because a lot of times this irk my nerves. There's a lot of people who want to posture themselves as pro in gig settings, and they want to be associated with people who can make their facade look big, but you're wasting those people's time because they actually really want something out of this. Let me say that again. There are a lot of people who want to be perceived as pro in gig settings, and they want to use the gifts and build relationships with people who are extremely gifted, who can actually help them. They will waste their time so that they can look pro in gig settings. Don't waste people time who want more than busting houses. Stop wasting people time who want more than busting houses. If you just want to bust houses, hire people that just want to bust houses. That's what I say. I don't think there's nothing wrong with not wanting much. I think there's something wrong with using great people who want a lot. Don't misuse and mistreat ambitious people so that you can further your small agenda. There we go. I had to figure out how to say it. But you won't go get people who have your agenda, because normally people that have your agenda don't have the gift to make you look good. Woo, woo, because people who want great are pursuing great. So you want to hire great to propel mediocrity. That ain't fair. I see it all the time. You want to hire great to further push your mediocre agenda. That ain't fair. Go get some mediocre people. There are some who really only want what you want. That it really are. There really are people who only want what you want. There really, really are. People who want great, don't mess with them if you just want to put out a song and bust houses, bro. Because they going to sniff that out quick and they going to quit. And then don't go lying on them when they quit. They didn't quit because they disloyal. They quit because they realize you don't want much. And you are sucking them dry to make you look good on stages with 20 people in the building. Quit doing that. That ain't even what I came up here for, but maybe that's what I'm supposed to be saying. We have to get to a place, bro, where we decide what level we want to be on and we deal with people who are okay with our agenda, whatever that level is. Because you will save a lot of frustration. It's like, Jeremiah, what's up? If you want to just buzz houses, get you a band and some singers that just want to buzz houses. Don't go find no young, ambitious MD talking to him about using Ableton for you just to go to people's anniversaries. You wasting that man time. Yeah, he young, doc. I could tell he fresh. Yeah, I can use them gifts he got, man, so I can go over here to the Swanee's anniversary and kill. When you know this man see tours in his future and he's learning how to program because he desires to be on big stages with artists who care about the art and the graphics and the dancing and the performances and the live arrangements. Don't go get a person who's ambitious for them to further your mediocrity at the Swanee's anniversary. Don't disrespect people like that. That's not right, bro. And y'all do it all the time. That's why you see amazing, ambitious musicians on stage with artists for a season, then they all leave at the same time. Because after a while, once they realize they on a hamster wheel, they all jump off together. That's what I'm saying. TJ, that's what I'm saying. My thing is, okay, when you have an ambitious squad, artists, that is your opportunity to shoot for the moon. That is your opportunity to shoot for the moon. But when you have been brought up in quartet and don't have relationships with people who can help you, not have limiting beliefs, you have very, 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 very limited beliefs. So you tell them, yes, I need your gifting, but I need it to only be like this because this how quartet is. Oh my God. Stop using how quartet is to stay mediocre. Because quartet can be whatever we choose it is. That's why Pro Unlimited whooping everybody, because they choosing to do backline and production and sound like big boys, genre excluded. How can we do things on the highest level no matter what genre it is? Why is quartet and small associated? Why is quartet and small lumped together in everybody's brains? Why is quartet and unorganized grouped together in everybody's brains? It ain't just like that. Bamps, me too, man. Jeremiah, most people in quartet, for whatever reason, think small. And I am here as a voice to say, there may have been a time where you had no choice but to think small. But in 2026, don't no artist in no genre ever have to think small again. You don't have to think small. It do not have to be small, bruh. Ain't nothing got to be. At this point, if you're mediocre, it's by choice. If you're thinking small, it's by choice. If you cutting corners, it's by choice. We live in a time with technology. We live in an era where it's choice, bro. It's choice, it's choice, it's choice. You can't be talking about no systems. You can't be talking about radio holding me down. You can't be talking about who don't respect me. Boy, if you building your brand and you teaming up with a band and singers and y'all are making good songs in the studio, first of all, because most of these songs ain't good. Let's start there. Ain't nothing to respect. Paul and Silas ain't nothing to respect. Went to a meeting one night, ain't nothing to respect. That's number one. The songs need to be better. The songs need to be able to breathe with the message and melodies and top lines and production and arrangement. And then those good songs need to be turned into live arrangements that are digestible to the consumer and not catering to the people standing on the back. And content need to be created around these songs, and y'all need to perfect y'all crafts so that the delivery is good and you won't have to worry about nobody stepping on your neck. Ain't nobody. You know what's holding you back? Your lack of effort. Sound by Jazz is in the building. You want to know what's holding your group back? Your songs. Bams. Bams. All quartet. Yo, I say that so much. Bams. Songs about dying is killing. Listen. Songs are all I understand back in the day, we as a people, where we come from, we envisioned and imagined and dreamed and hoped of going to a better place because life on earth sucked that bad. I will not discredit, I will not disrespect, and I will not ignore where we come from. However, there are more things to talk about than dying and where we gonna go when we leave. There are people who would love to hear songs that they can apply to their everyday lives with the quartet sound. You got people like the Hamiltons, who is, they quartet anyway, we all know that. But when you be like, you got to be loving me, loving me. You got Southern Soul, which is just quartet. You got John Mayer with songs like Gravity that sound like Tommy Ellison and the Five Singing Stars. Man, there's too many examples of successful people making quartet music that ain't about dying. For those of you who don't know, please go listen to Gravity by John Mayer. It is literally a Tommy Ellison song with the best sounding drums you will ever hear in your life. I need producers and artists and mix engineers. Jonas in the building, what's good? Hey? I need y'all to go listen to Gravity by John Mayer. That is a good blueprint for production. And Space. I ain't even talking about what I'm supposed to be talking about, which is records and live arrangements. But maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't know if I come up here tomorrow. But yo, quartet artists in 2026, do not come to the Lala in the building, gang, gang. Do not come to conversations with your team and with your people with limiting beliefs. Yo, 6 Strings in the building. What up, Brian? Hey, he's so cold, bro. Hey, listen, don't come into conversations with limiting beliefs and then be frustrated when people aren't loyal. Let me tell you something. When you don't got no vision and you don't got no money, you ain't gonna have no loyalty. JD in the building. JD, I'm in here supposed to be talking about daggone records and live arrangements. I'm talking about something totally different. But listen, back to what I was saying. Quartet artists. In 2026, please don't come to the table with limiting beliefs, because when you come to the table with limiting beliefs, bro, the conversation is over. We are living in an age. I'm declaring it right now. We have people in these comments right now. We have other musicians and singers and artists. We are aware of what is and what ain't. And if you don't got no there's a lot. The program is cool, and the program is a part of the system. Live performances are a part of the artist music game, but it's not all of it. And there are a lot of things that are important before gigging is even lucrative. So a lot of the reason why gigging isn't lucrative for quartet is because there's no effort put in the things that snowball into lucrative gigging, like songwriting and song production and live arrangements and social media content. For a lot of quartet groups, them things that I just named either suck or are non-existent. Therefore, your career is in the toilet. That's why people, are you following me? If you ain't got no brand, if you ain't making no social media content, if your song's talking about dying and Paul and Silas and it's busy, who finna book you, man? Respect your price. There's nothing to respect, man. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Quartet is in the state that is in because people aren't making the decisions to up the ante on the craft, starting with the goddamn song. Talking about the same things in 2026 that you talked about in 1998 has a lot to do with why we don't have a new audience. I hear a lot of people saying, bruh, man, quartet ain't like it used to be, bruh. It's hard to do gigs now because only the older people are showing up. The songs about dying and struggling worked back then because that was the state of majority of the people. The sound and approach worked back then because that was attached to what those people knew and understood. The songwriting and the sonics and the approach and the arrangements have to be relevant to the majority of listeners in the day you live. If you ain't making music for the people in the day you live, they ain't coming to no program, man. You ain't made nothing for them. You making music for people who not living. That's why ain't nobody there. You are writing and performing for a culture and a demographic and a generation of people that are literally not living. Of course ain't nobody coming. What do you mean, man? What do you mean? When Michael Jackson made Thriller with Quincy Jones, that was for then. When he made Invincible with Dark Child, that was for then. What makes Michael Jackson great is being connected to relevant people in each era. Butterflies was written by Floetry, man. You understand what I'm saying? Do you feel what I'm saying? Michael Jackson has been Michael Jackson through every era. But the writing, the sonics, the producers, Teddy Riley, man, remember the time, man, come on. Quincy Jones at one point was like, all right, Mike, you ready to go? I can't do this next album because I ain't even really on it, but this other cat, though, this New Jack Swing is crazy. Yeah, you need to go to Teddy. Teddy gave him Remember the Time. Come on, man. Then he get Rock My World with God Daggone Dark Child, man. Come on, man. Yo. And we still talking about when we... Okay. I don't want to say that because that'll mess around and point out somebody's exact song. And I don't want to do that. Hey, Jeremiah, major quartet artists got to daggone be doing content. Okay, what Patrick say? I watched the YouTube video of Lisa and Fred making promises. Woo! She was very intentional about the development of the song so that it will reach a broader audience. Let's talk about that. Gotta stay with the times, and that goes with the records live arrangements topic. Yes, it does, and I'm finna get there. So listen, I'm gonna mention what Pat said. If you listen to promises, I gotta make a video about promises because I got it in my notes. I'm not gonna do it here, but I did an analysis of promises and broke it down from the arrangement to how fast it get to the vamp to the lyrics, everything. Promises is not as successful as it is by accident. And that's what I think a lot of people are missing. We are missing how intentional you need to be, bruh, to make good music. Yes, bruh. Promises is a drive that is not about dying. It's a drive saying that God keeps his promises, bruh. Do you know how many people in our community, do you know how many of us need to hear that in the time we living in? Promise is alone. Promise is alone. Lisa Knowles Smith and the Brown Singers and Promises is enough for everybody to hush about every limiting belief about quartet. Lisa has single-handedly shattered. She does not have to be an anomaly. All Lisa artists following her blueprint too. Exactly. Shout out to Evo. Shout out to Evo. Shout out to Evo. Russell was good. Shout out to Evo. Boy, I'm so proud of them. Boy, y'all don't understand. I'm Lisa Knowles Smith 10 toes down. I don't care what nobody say. People be saying all kinds of crazy stuff. You can't come to me with nothing crazy about Lisa. Hey. Shout out to Evo. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to Glorified. Shout out to Men of Praise. Who else on there? Who else on there now? Hey, I'm Evo World. I'm like Evo World Entertainment #1 fan. Hey, yo, I really, really am. Because the thing to respect, okay, let's talk. the valuable thing, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Lisa Knowles Smith. Yes. Daryl Pettis. And the Avengers. That's what I call them. Daryl Pettis and the Avengers. Word is insane. Okay, I'm going to tell y'all another thing. That y'all, I don't know if y'all paid attention to. Promises is a one-word title. Grace is a one-word title. Word is a one-word title. Ain't none of them songs about dying. All the graphics look good. Yo, what makes Lisa cold is her mind. We don't have enough brilliant minds in decision-making seats in quartet. Lead singers, just because you the lead singer don't mean you should be the decision maker. If your brain don't go past 2005, you should not be making the call. You should not be calling the plays. If your brain is still back in the day when Lee Williams was hot, you should not be the play caller. You could be the lead singer, but you should not be the play caller. You shouldn't be the playmaker either. You should just sing. If you are still stuck in 2008 mentally, you should just sing. A lot of the problem is there are not enough brilliant, relevant minds in decision-making positions. And a lot of people are intimidated by knowledge. Do you know how many people are mad that I be coming up here, y'all? There are a lot of people who want me to shut up. And I'm not going to shut up. Because if I could have trusted the people who wanted... Okay, I ain't going to say that. I love Lee. We just ain't smart enough to turn how Lee blew up into a 2026 strategy. So we still talking about, man, Lee was hot because of the radio, man. People don't listen to the radio no more. People don't respect quartet. They don't play quartet on the radio. Spotify's the new radio, ding dong. What did you talk about? Okay, if you love Lee, what did Dexter do for Lee? What is today's version of it? You can't copy it, man, because it ain't gonna work. You can't do what Dexter did today. You got to do the equivalent of what Dexter did then. What is the equivalent of it today? You can't go on Bobby Jones no more. What is today's Bobby Jones? What is today's radio? What is today's promotion? You get it? You get it? You get it? What's the principle? And then what's today's vehicle? What's the principle? What's the system? Now, what's today's vehicle? Complaining about what don't exist no more is wasting time because it ain't coming back. It's not coming back because you're upset. When you have a producer that like to challenge their mind, greatness is to come. And Lisa and Fred have some mindsets. Mindset is everything. Actually, they might just need to stay home if they are ancient thinkers. That's all. Let's stay home if they ancient thinkers is wild. Breland, you saying Dexter Rob Lee blind? Lord Jesus. I don't know nothing about that. If that's what you're saying. If that's what you're saying, that sucks, bro. But yo, okay, Bams told me don't shut up. The truth of the matter is, lead singers, you should not be the decision maker if you have limiting beliefs. Lee is definitely an anomaly. In my opinion, Lee is an anomaly. I agree. But the truth of the matter is, the success of Lee can be replicated if people look at Lee's success through the lens of a studier. I want a better word than studier. Analyst. If you got to dissect things that were successful and then figure out, oh, that's good. He had no bad press. He probably that's true. That's a yo. We live in a day where today is wild. I'm gonna tell y'all another thing. I'm gonna say this with my whole chest. There are a lot of quartet artists. I'm gonna say this with my whole chest. There are a lot of quartet artists who can do way more than they doing. Bamps mentioned bad press. There are some quartet artists that can be using bad press to change the game. I'm gonna leave that there. Lisa have so many states saying come here, yes, for a live recording. I mean states that don't really care. Jeremiah, because states not caring for quartet is a false narrative. That's the point I'm trying to make. Got to be a student of the game, Bams. Yes. The point I'm trying to make is states not caring for quartet is a false narrative. It's just not true. The truth is, we ain't giving people nothing to like. We not giving people nothing to like. We not building relationships in other places. I done talked about the Scoot Challenge, man. The Scoot Challenge is... The problem is, it take Will to do the Scoot Challenge. It take Lent Lawson to put up Rudolph because y'all ain't making the content, man. G, what's up? Why is Will Johnson and Lent Lawson making more quartet content than quartet artists? I don't understand. Why is Will Johnson and Lent Lawson making more quartet content than quartet artists? I don't understand. I don't understand. I know the answer though. The answer is the average quartetter's brain is still in 2008. That's the truth. The average quartetter's brain is still thinking about Memphis 1. That's the problem. That's the problem. And the thought of bringing their brain into 2026 is frustrating, and they dislike anybody who challenges their ancient thinking. And they'll hire people who have relevant gifts, but they'll silence their relevant voice. I'm going to hire you because you understand how to make music of the time. But then when you tell me my movements are irrelevant, now I got to fire you because you're disrespectful. They not disrespectful. They tired of going in circles. And the relevant gift that they have in an irrelevant container is going to have them going in circles too. So they trying to give you an opportunity for them to be loyal to you. But they can't be loyal to you if when they challenge you, you shut them down. They better quit. They better quit. If they want something out of life, quitting is the right thing for them to do. If I know what it takes in 2026, and I'm a musician and a producer for an artist who I tell ain't moving like it's, if I tell you, bro, the way you moving, bro, it's outdated. And you think that's disrespectful? I quit. I quit. I quit. Because I am going to be nothing fooling around with you but a nigga that busts houses. And I want to be more than that. There are so many people who want to be more than your 2008 brain can conceive. So if you want them on your camp, stop making the decisions and just sing. Hire somebody to make the plays and call them, and you just show up and sing. The anomaly about Lisa is she's both. Most of y'all ain't both. Lisa is both. Lisa knows Smith is both. She's an above average singer by standards of what most quartet lead singers are capable of skill-wise. She's elite as a singer. She's elite as a thinker. She's going to be successful. She put people around her. She built an independent label, for God's sakes, with people in her city, and she taking them up, bruh. She not even selfish. Her network is beyond crazy because her gift made room for her to be on stages with people like PJ and James Fortune. She has an ability and a capability and a skill level that transcends where she came from. And she uses that to get her in rooms to create relationships with people to bring attention back to where she came from. While everybody else is complaining. The Williams brothers started a label called Blackberry, and they signed other artists. The Williams brothers got daggone Stevie Wonder on a record. The Williams brothers did a live recording and had Juanita Bynum and Carlton Pearson in there. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. You know how they say, I just heard DJ Haddon's brother, Gerald Haddon, he was doing a song about prayer, and he was like, little prayer, little power, much prayer, much power. Small mind, small career. Big mind, big career. Small mind, small career. Big mind, big career. Y'all understand? BJ is in. He said BJ is in building his legend of gang. BJ gang. Nice to meet you, dog. I've been talking about that too. There's no quality control with the content, bruh. Videographers, get a direct line to the board. Artists, promoters, shut people down from Facebook Live and people whole sets. I done said both of those things. Small work, small results. Yes, Jeremiah. And that's the thing. Okay, so let me calm down. Let me calm down, because that's the thing. The level of work that's being done in quartet is so minimal that is frustrating. People live, learn, and apply. Strategy, target, network. Yes, and I don't. There's a lack of effort, and there's a lack of intentionality when it comes to. And I'm gonna say this, and I mean it. Most quartet artists. There's a lack of effort and a lack of intentionality with most quartet artists. There is. I've been in too many rooms. I listened to too many records. I've had too many conversations, and I know too many people to not stand 10 toes down on what I'm saying. Most quartet artists put in too little effort, and there is no intentionality behind what they do at all. You want to know what's intentional? Let's do a record so we can have something to sell. Let's book as many shows as possible. Let's take what they'll give us. Oh, they didn't honor the deposit. Well, let's still go anyway because we need to be seen. What are the songs? Hey, man, let's do whatever feel good. Let's make sure we got a tearjerker. Let's make sure we got a booty bouncer. Let's make sure we got a house buster. Everybody want a tearjerker, a booty bouncer, and a house buster, and it don't matter what it's saying. Y'all are taking nursery rhymes and Sunday school Bible stories, putting a bass line on it, and calling it a song. That's not a song, man. Mary had a little lamb mixed with Job, who was sick so long flesh fell from his bones, with a Tracy Pierce bass line. It's not a drive. What are y'all doing? And then to make sure we're relevant, let's make sure we got a synth lead in there. Oh, we got a quality production. That's not it. Man, don't nobody respect what we do, man. Ain't nobody checking for us, man. People don't respect our price. Mary had a little lamb, plus Job was sick so long with a Tracy Pierce bass line and a synth lead, that ain't no song. What is there to respect? What is the value of that you just put together? What's the value of your song? You tell me. No, I'm asking. What's the value of your song? How much is that song worth to the public? When a person walk away from hearing that song, what is the life lesson? What is the aha moment? Or what can they be delivered from? Where is the delivery place in the song? What is the message? What is the story of the music? What is the story of the song? You can't answer none of them questions, can you? No, because as long as you can get to the vamp and say Jesus, 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 you fulfill the assignment. BJ, we don't be making songs, bro. We be putting together a gumbo of stuff that's already been heard and said 50 million times and say Jesus at the end. And that's it. That's literally it. That's literally it. It starts with the song, y'all. Okay, let me say this. I'm going to say it like this. The most important part of music and quartet is the weakest part in quartet. The most important part is the weakest part, and that's the song. The song is the most important, and it's the weakest. The writing of it, the production of it, the arranging of it, the intentionality of it, the message of it, the theology of it. BJ, I appreciate that, man. Hopefully, share this live, man. In due time, I pray it will be, bro. Because we really got to step it up. Because there's no need to be frustrated with what you're not getting and how you're not being respected when you're not like really like up on the craft for real. And a lot of it has to do with ego. I don't care, lead singers. It don't matter how good you can sing if you can't write a song. You can't sing your way out. You can't sing a bad song good. You can sound good singing a bad song, but your singing can't make a bad song good. But a mediocre singer can make an amazing song last forever. You can sound good singing a bad song, but it's still a bad song. And you will get away with the drummer smacking it live because the music feels good in the room, but the stream numbers ain't gonna move because the song ain't good. It works live because ain't nobody paying attention to the song live if the band killing. But your fan base ain't growing because when the hoopla ain't going, people realize it ain't a good song. What is you talking about? Skip. What's the storyline? What's the melody? What's the counter melody? What's the pre-chorus? Is it electric guitar? Is it acoustic guitar? Should it be a long intro? Should it be a short intro? Should it be a minimalist approach? Should it be drum programming? Should it be live drums? Is the studio we recording at got drums that even sound good? No, I'm programming the fool out of them. I don't care what y'all say about key drums. If the key drums sound better than the studio drums that you got access to, key drum till the sun come down. Because tone is more important than if it was programmed or live. If the live drums sound suck, go for tone of the key drums, man. Yo, I hear so many people, hey, bro. Hey, man, doc, them program drums. The drums at the studios, if you ain't got no money to go to a studio that got good sounding rooms with outboard gear and techs that can tune the drums with good mic placement, key drum, please. Please. At least the computer has already EQ'd the drums. There are people who will critique the fact that drums ain't real or they not live. Most of the live drums sound like trash, bruh. We not EQing, we not tuning. The kick drum sound like somebody hit the pencil on a brown paper bag. But the drummer killing though. That's what be crazy. The drummer be overplaying the song with his good chops with the brown paper bag kick drum. I'd rather have a straight beat from a key drum than this incredible drummer overplaying this song on bad sounding drums. Producers need to be making calls that are more intentional. Flip the sonics. Make the sound that has a broader reach. Yes! Many of these nice software live drums are killing. Yes! That's another thing I be saying. BJ, thank you. Study. Bruh, I just watched a video yesterday where a man was explaining that Quincy Jones, he did not drive. Quincy Jones will have his driver take him on Wednesday to get a printout of the Billboard charts. And he would go get the printout of the Billboard charts. And every record in the top 10, he would have his driver take him to the record shop to buy. And then all 10 of those songs, he would study the arrangement, the writing, the instruments used, the melodies, how long the intro was. Guys, why? Because you need to know what people are consuming, man. You have to find the line, what they say, between artistic expression and commercial viability. You have to find the balance between artistic expression and commercial viability. You trying to sell these songs, man. And you in a service business, you in a sales business. Everything you do is selling. Today's version of people buying your song is streaming it. If it ain't relevant, it ain't being streamed. Am I making sense? Amen, lights. Would love to know your thoughts on an artist choosing a lane. I have written both inspirational R&B, love, relationship, and life lesson music and worship music. I've gotten flack for singing both. Ralph Lofton is in the building. Gang to the OG. Y'all love Ralph Lofton to death. What's my advice? My true advice to you, if I had to give you advice, it would be to honestly, we live in a world now where you should do it all and pay attention to how you feel creating and couple that with people's response to it if you want a career in music. Because you have to get to the place where there has to be a balance between artistic expression and commercial viability. You don't want to be so artistic that don't nobody want to listen to your music. But you also don't want to be so commercial that you just copying things trying to be hot. You have to find the balance between who am I and how can I pair who I am with relevant sonics and format in the time in which I live. Until you get to a place where it don't matter what you put out because your brand is that big. And you see artists do that all the time. Right now, it don't matter what Beyonce put out at this point in her career. But there was a time where with Destiny's Child, Matthew Knowles was hyper intentional. Matthew Knowles was hyper intentional. So you have to find the balance between which one of those genres or what subject matter moves you the most when creating it, mixed with the response you get from people when you make it, if a career is your priority. So Tamika, that would be my advice. Which brings me to another thing. I'm gonna say this. A lot of quartet artists shouldn't be quartet artists no more. That's part of the problem. Part of the problem is you so used to being a quartet artist. T-Town in the building, I'm so proud of you, dog. I'm proud of y'all, boy. I'm 10 toes down for all of them. I'm trying to tell y'all don't understand. Hey, a lot of quartet artists shouldn't be quartet artists. That has a lot to do with it. Now let me talk for real. Because I was going to say this a while ago. A lot of people won't switch genres because of how they will be perceived for switching genres. When people know your lifestyle anyway. People know your lifestyle anyway, so switching genres probably make most sense. Please hear what I just said. A lot of quartet artists are afraid to switch genres because of how they would be perceived for switching genres. When people know your lifestyle and switching genres probably make more sense anyway. You could be much more successful with a whole lot less judgment if you switch genres. Man, I can't sing Southern Soul, man. I can't do that, man. People gon' they gonna ridicule me, man, for like turning my back on God. Boy, hush. Lifestyle says Southern Soul. Your lifestyle is public. Southern Soul fits your life way more than quartet. At least you can sing about your life in an authentic way and make more money doing it. Because your quartet souls are not good. Your gift, your skill is there, but your songs suck. But you're afraid to sing Southern Soul because you don't want to turn your back on God while living a lifestyle that don't match the message that's supposed to go with gospel is insane to me. You might as well switch It make way more sense. Yes, people dogged Sam Cooke for leaving the Soul Stirrers. Now look at how we talk about him. There's a lot of Sam Cookes in Quartet right now. That's your switch. Jeff, switching make way more sense for a few Quartet artists. Because if it's about like, if the decision is about perception and you are going to disregard the lifestyle, you might as well switch. If you're going to live, and I'm not saying that how you living is right or wrong. I'm saying based on your excuse of why you have not switched, you might as well switch. If your lifestyle more aligns with another genre and you don't plan to change and people know your lifestyle anyway, and you broke singing Quartet, it made way more sense to switch. And you'll be surprised how you're received, bro. Sam Cooke all day. BJ, I'm talking about Sam Cooke is revered as one of the greatest soul singers of all time. He was a Quartet lead singer. He was a Quartet lead singer, man, literally. And at first he put out Lovable. He changed Wonderful to Lovable and put it out under an alias name. People knew it was Sam Cooke because of his voice. But he had the same fear until he started looking at the business. That's what I'm saying, Jeff. If you finna be doing what you doing, you might as well get a bigger bag, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Because the truth be told, it's a bigger bag, bro. Because at the end of the day, if you like, man, I'm loyal to Quartet because I love God and it's not about the money, it's not about the career, it's not about the success, it's not about serving. That's a different conversation. You could do that on the smallest level and God will be pleased because your heart is in the right place. But if you gonna live how you gonna live and you frustrated with Quartet not respecting you and you feeling like you in a box, you instantly out of the box soon as you switch. Because if you don't plan on changing your life and you want to see your musical career go to another level, soon as you switch, it's automatically over. That like the boundaries and the blocks in the box is automatically gone. And the funny thing is, you're going to be embraced on the other side, and the Quartet people coming to them shows because they already going anyway. They already going anyway. The Quartet people at the shows, and you might well be over there. They there too. Matter of fact, they've traded in. They've actually given up going to Quartet shows and are not going to Southern Soul shows. Just going over there. You'll kill it. You can have the same style. You can just change the words. And you automatically have a drastically more successful career instantly. You can go from $1,500 to $15,000 after you put out about 4 singles. And I'm not making this up. You can literally go from $1,500 to $15,000 after putting out 4 singles. And they can sound the same as your Quartet songs. Sam Cooke changed Wonderful to Lovable to start off his R&B career. Bruh, I'm not making this up, bruh. History proves that what I'm saying works. Sam Cooke sung the same way as an R&B artist that he did when he was a Quartet artist. The lyrics just changed. And then the budgets changed, then you start hearing orchestras and stuff. It did get crazy eventually. But initially, it was R&B soul stirs. You might as well switch. Bro, I ain't even talking about what I'm supposed to be talking about, bro. I'm supposed to be, but I am, really. I'm supposed to be talking about records and live arrangements, but I guess it's necessary. I guess it's all one thing. I guess it's all necessary. But yeah, we need to do better. Because these songs, bro, I'm trying to tell y'all, these Quartet songs, I listened to an album yesterday and I'm like, I've heard this before. I've heard this before. I've heard this before. Changing the music is not making the songs good, bro. Saying the same thing the same way with new music is not making these songs good. The songs are not good just because y'all... It's not, bro. It's not, bro. The song is number one most important. And that's where the ball is being dropped the hardest on the important thing. On the important thing. And I'm gonna be honest. Subpar production is even subpar production is able to slip through the cracks when you have a great song. But great sonics and great music arrangement don't make a bad song good. It just makes a terrible song with good music. And I don't think y'all understand. You have music enthusiasts, you have Quartet lovers who are going to automatically connect with the bass line, and it don't matter what you saying. But that ain't who you need to be serving to build your career. Like the homegirl that sit in her car and groove to the bass line, she was gonna listen to it anyway. The musician who just trying to check out the new licks, he was gonna listen to it anyway. But if you trying to serve a new demographic, bruh, there needs to be some intentionality, and people need to be in a room who understand what it takes. And I don't care if you the lead singer, bruh. If you have limiting beliefs, you should not be the playmaker or the play caller. Because at the end of the day, your ego, your lead singer ego is getting in the way of your group's ascension. Don't let your lead singer ego get in the way of your group's ascension. Please, bruh. You are still bitter that radio don't play Quartet. You still wish that the ballparks were packed. You still talking about how it used to be. If that's where you at, you can't be the playmaker, bro. Because you don't have the mental or emotional capacity to push past the glory days. If you don't have the mental and emotional capacity to push past the glory days, you should not be in a decision-making seat. because you're going to demonize everything that's relevant. Everything that will make you relevant, you are going to demonize it if your heyday didn't include the tools of today. People did it with synthesizers. People doing it with AI. People did it with electricity. There's always a group of people who demonize the development that they did not grow up with. If you don't have the mental and emotional capacity to move beyond the glory days, you should not be the decision maker, bruh. You should just lead, sing, and hire people who have the capacity to make plays in today's time. Please listen to what I'm saying. Because your frustration, your limiting belief, your limiting beliefs are the chains. Your limiting belief are the chains. Hey, BJ said also, can we go ahead and turn those click tracks off? I don't know a big song with that stuff jumbling up the mix and sonics. BJ, I told a story on here about one of my homies who is really successful in music. He came home from out of town one time and I let him hear a song. And he was like, y'all still using click tracks? BJ, that thing tore my nerves up because for 2 seconds, I was offended. For 2 seconds, BJ, for 2 seconds, I was offended. Then I was like, nah, he right. Then he started letting me listen to records, and I'm like, yeah, people don't use like these loops, especially the way we make them. We make them in ways that don't fit the song, and then they loud as jacks. And I keep telling y'all, here's another person. I don't know BJ, but Bamp said he a real deal guy, and the way he talking, I'm sure he in other genres. So I'm not tripping, man. When I say what I'm saying, I'm not tripping. Live arrangements. BJ, we don't have live arrangements. Quartet don't have live arrangements. That's what I wanted to talk about in the first place. Quartet don't have strong songs and production. Boom. And then they don't have live arrangements. So, okay, let's get into what I wanted to talk about then, because BJ just brought me to it. Quartet's version of live arrangements is just everybody shedding. Bruh. I've watched so many shows and I've seen so many live arrangements. But there is one let me make sure it's still here first. Let me make sure it's still here before I say what I'm finna say. Let me go look. Because this is one everybody can just watch with good quality before I say it. Records need to be produced in a way where there is room for live arrangements. Okay, so it's still online. I need all producers and all musicians and all programmers to go on Netflix and watch Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids. BJ, loops are a timekeeper unless it is intentionally programmed to add to the production. Loops are meant to be timekeepers unless they are intentionally programmed to add to the production. I need all musicians and MDs and auxiliary players and keyboard players and bass players to go on Netflix and look at Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids. Why? Because that's quality arrangements. Hey, that's quality arrangements that everybody could just watch real quick in a quality way. Because I don't want to send y'all to YouTube or nothing to like some junk that ain't. And that's what I was trying to say about arrangements. Like records, it's like it's important to produce songs in a strategic way that leaves room for a live arrangement. And it takes a mature, disciplined, intentional producer and mature, disciplined session players to minimalize their approach to a studio record. You have to be egoless and song driven to properly execute a song when you tracking in the studio. It's important to dissect us, but like I said, here's the problem. Most of the time, quartet artists are banking on musicians to kill because the song ain't a song. Like take a song. Let's do for an example. Let's take a song like "Can We Talk." Let's take a song like "Can We Talk." Think about "Can We Talk." Think about the verses. Think about the pre-chorus. The verses are na na na. Whatever. And then the pre is da 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 no no da 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 do not no right? How many quartet songs in your mind can you vibe to the melody of the lyrics? How many quartet songs can you sing where the melody is that consistent from part to part, that intentional with a story, and it's like, dang, that junk is good. That song is written where the music complements it. No, in quartet, the singing complements the music. It's backwards. In quartet, the singing is complementing. It's like the music is the main attraction, and it's like the lyricist and the lyrics is the help. That's why it's not penetrating in new markets, in new generations. You're going to always get the response of people who used to the sound that was already going to listen, but you're not going to attract nobody new because it's upside down. We got to strip back all of the ability to play and have melody and top line and storylines that transcend generations, that can relate to my grandma, my mama, me, and my kids at the same time. And then we need to have sonics. It needs to sound relevant, which means we need to be students of the game of music today. And if we do choose to be nostalgic when we get ready to execute a record in which we would like to be nostalgic, it has to be authentic so it don't sound like we tried and missed. It's all reversed now. It used to be the lead singer and BGVs drove the mission. It's definitely now band first being the driving force. Yes, the band being the driving force is a big mistake. It's a big mistake, and that's because we gig conscious. We're not song conscious. We are gig conscious. And yes, you want to be intentional to make sure you are creating songs that will do well in a gig setting. I'm not saying that that is wrong, because other genres do it. Hey, let's make sure we got a sound that will be big in arena. Let's make sure we got an 808 that'll knock in the club. Let's make sure we got a phrase that people will chant. It's not wrong to think about the concert. What's wrong is disregarding the message. What's wrong is saying what's already been said the same way it's been said for 30 years and then trying to like interject that into a bunch of busy music. That's the, and that is being repeated. So now it's like songs are not being written today. Songs are being thrown together. That's the good way to put it. All right, so yes, that's a good way to articulate it. We have to get to a place where we're not just throwing songs together. We're throwing songs together. Okay, let's take this piece from here. Let's throw that in there. Let's take this piece from here. Let's throw that in there. Y'all remember that thing we heard? Let's throw that in there. Y'all remember that bass line from there? Let's throw that in there. Now make a loop. All right, man, let's do it. They're not crafted. They're thrown together. We need more crafted songs. We need more songs that are like, okay, what am I going through? What is my group going through? Okay, what's a song title that can come from these experiences? Okay, what are some terms that people use in present day that line up with these experiences so that we can express ourselves in a relevant way? What are some sounds? What are some sonics? What are some tempos that younger people are gravitating to? What sound choices are they using? What the drums need to sound like? Do we want to purposely be 80s? Do we want to purposely be 90s? Do we want to purposely be 70s? Do we want to be 2000s? Do we want to be current? You got to ask yourself these questions. We can't just be like, everything gonna be all right. That's the song. All right, now music. Let's do Clean Up Woman. Let's make Clean Up Woman music. Let's say everything gonna be all right. And give me a snarky puppy intro. Make sure the lead synth is crazy. Make a loop. Can't do that. Everything bling to be gonna be all right. Bing 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 bing. Intro. Bing 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 bling. This song is for everybody. Bing bing. Doom boom do the band everything gonna be alright. Boom 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 bing boom. Vamp. Alright. Alright. Boom 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 do the boom 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 boom. Alright, do 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 boom boom baby. And that's the song. And we saying that's the, y'all check out my new single. All right. Available now. Y'all, we can't keep. That's a thrown together song. And live, people gonna love it. And if somebody live stream it while you performing, it might do numbers. But it's not about to change your life because it's not crafted. It's not crafted. It's thrown together. And there are elements of it that people are going to connect with automatically if you're a quartet lover. But it's not life changing because it's not crafted. We got to do more crafting. We got to be way more intentional in the writing process first, and way more intentional in the production process second. Second, is it S or D? D. And then in the production, we need to leave room for there to be a live arrangement. We have to leave room for there to be space for a live arrangement. The lyrics should be the focus of the studio record. Even if you do a live recording. Okay, let me explain this too, because this is important. In the context of a group doing a live recording where you're recording songs for the first time, musicians should still have a session mindset. Even in a live situations, producers and musicians should still have a session mindset when you're doing a live recording of songs that have never been heard, because you need to have the same minimalist mind you would in the studio. Now, if you're doing a 2.0 version of a song, then you got room to go more crazy with a little live arrangement, because people have a foundation of the song that they're already attached to that they can go listen to if they just want to hear the song. Because live arrangements are typically associated with live performances, and a live recording is different than a live performance. A live recording is a recording session in a live environment. A live performance is a in-person performance of that record, which is why people have live arrangements so that they can create a more embellished experience in the room. When you're listening to a song driving to work and you need a pick-me-up, the words should be more important because that's what you want to meditate on. That same song in a room, once people have already digested the words, embellishing some of the parts to accentuate certain breaks or lyrics in a live setting as a live arrangement, that's where live arrangements go. A live recording is a session just like the studio is a session. A live performance is where live arrangements work more effectively. So when we get ready to do these sessions, we need to think session. And we need to leave room to have somewhere to go in the live arrangement. If you doing live arrangements in the studio, then you go live and you do the studio arrangement that sound like a live arrangement, plus add more stuff to make it a live arrangement, and then all the band members freestyling. So you got live arrangement times 2 plus freestyling on top of everything gonna be all right. And then a person on the front row recording your whole performance live. What's the value of the ticket to come see you? What's the value of the song to stream it over and over? What's the value? What's the value? You really, really got to ask yourself. Yeah, I'm looking on my Instagram right now. My fault, y'all. We got to get to a place where it's like we are be intentional about every phase. Quartet songs are missing relevant messaging. Quartet songs in 2026 are missing relevant messaging. That would be $6. Quartet songs in 2026 are missing relevant messaging. We just are. That's why we're missing a generation. Because we're lacking relevant messaging. We're lacking relevant messaging, and we're lacking relevant packaging. We're lacking relevant messaging, and we're lacking relevant packaging. Quartet, there's 2 things that we're lacking. Relevant messaging and relevant packaging. Let me explain. Relevant messaging. What we are saying. Like when we say most quartet songs are about dying. Okay, let's make some songs about living. Okay, the sound, the quartet root, the foundation of quartet, the elements that make quartet are not problematic, or we wouldn't have a Scoot Challenge. The Scoot Challenge proves that quartet is relevant. However, a song, because that's just music, and I think that's Will, but the top lines, the lyrics, instead of talk about dying, let's talk about living. And packaging, how is it being delivered? You can't have a CD 2008 10-song album, put the artwork online, available now. You can't, that's irrelevant packaging. When you make 10 songs about dying or where you gonna go when you leave, you make some artwork, you put it out, and you just do shows. It's not like the messaging and the packaging is dated. The sound, the foundational sound is timeless. But it's like the messaging and the packaging is dated. So that's why people end up saying, man, quartet ain't like it used to be. Only old people come now. It's because the messaging and the packaging are dated. So we have to be like, all right, quartet used to be about dying because life was so bad for us as people that we were dreaming and hoping and wishing for a better place. Okay, in 2026, there are some things that could be better, but there are a lot of things that are way better than they used to be. So what are those things? Okay, I've identified those things. Okay, like what are some biblical principles or what are some theology or ideology that I can attach to the good of where we are now? And then how should it be packaged? What is some production sounds or sonics? Should it be drum programming just so I can make sure we could do live drums when we do the live arrangement, but the studio version may need to be drum programming just so I can have an 808 to resonate with younger people. And we probably need to do a content rollout where we do one reel a day for 30 days on this one song. We might need to do skits and take like a Country Wayne approach. So we may need to make sure this song has a story. And then we may need to act out the story. I'm giving away gems. We may need to act out the story in skit form, since skits are popular now, and then make the song music the score to every skit, and then tell everybody at the end of the skit to go stream the song. That's relevant packaging. Saying everything gonna be all right with a bunch of busy music, and then making a graphic and saying available now, and then being mad that people ain't streaming or showing up to your concert. You can't be, because there's not enough effort to garner people's dollar or attention. My brother Steven is in the building. That makes sense, y'all? We need relevant messaging and relevant packaging. We need relevant messaging. We need relevant packaging. We need relevant messaging. We need relevant packaging. And it'll change people's response to your brand when you actually build one. Your existence as a group is the foundation to your brand, but you need brand awareness, which is why social media is important. Because if people don't know you exist, they don't know to support. And the 5 people who were gonna show up anyway, they not spending money. So you gotta have messaging that compels people to be like, yo, this song changed my life. Whenever they close to me, or I don't care where they are. You really want to get to the place where people don't care where you are, they coming. But in quartet, when people, man, when they come close, man, I'm going to see them because this song changed my life, bro. This song made me believe in myself again. Because think about it, when all your songs about dying and people listening to your songs, it's like when they finish listening to your songs, what conversation do they have with themselves? Yo, man, I'm so excited, bruh. I'm going to get out of here one day, bruh. Whoo, I can't wait until I die, bruh. Because when I leave this world, whoo, heaven going to be my home. And I can't wait. Bruh, 20-year-olds ain't, nah, bruh. They ain't 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe. Bruh. Today, Casanat is the new celebrity. And you talking about dying? Mr. Beast is a young, almost billionaire. And you talking about dying? You got influencers like Will Johnson doing the choir rehearsal. And you talking about dying? Messaging, packaging. Messaging, packaging. You want to see growth? You want to see your group grow? Messaging, packaging. Lead singer, if you do not have the mental and emotional capacity to think beyond the glory days, You should not be in charge of the messaging or the packaging. You should just be doing the singing. Make sure they put the song in a key that you can sing. Make sure the message connects with you and you sit back and wait till the song is finished and sing your part. And then when the packaging person come, whatever they tell you to wear, as long as it don't violate you, put it on, dog. When they tell you what location y'all going to shoot content, go shoot it. When they tell you an influencer that has a big gospel audience, when it's time to go, hire Will Johnson. Hire not Carlton Banks. Hire Lynn Lawson. Hire people who have big gospel audiences. Put them in skits that tell the story of your song. First, get the songwriter. Don't write the song because you ain't going to have no story. If it's going to be a Bible story if you write the song. It's going to be Job if you write it. Get a songwriter. And treat the song like a script, bruh. And then go hire people who have audiences, bruh. And then feature people who are relevant, who are not quartet artists, but are quartet lovers. Glorify got Daryl Walls on a song. The Walls group are quartet lovers. Do a quartet ballad and get James Fortune to talk on it. Do a quartet drive and get Zacardi to feature on it. Am I making sense? There's so many people who grew up on quartet who love the art form. It's just that now the messaging and packaging is irrelevant. Most quartets messaging and packaging is dated. I'm talking about they are frustrated with the idea of content and we already on AI. We about to be past what they just catching up to. By the time they get comfortable, it's going to be time to move again. That's why you should just get people on the team who stand up on it. Because at the end of the day, it's no different than when you needed radio, when you needed to go do interviews. And you still need radio, and you still need to go do radio interviews. That ain't even dead. And Lisa knows, bro, I done heard promises multiple times on Erica Campbell Morning Show. So that means Lisa got the brains, relationships, and budget to be on the Erica Campbell Morning Show. So instead of hating on Lisa, we need to be figuring out the answers to the questions. How? What does it take? It take knowing this person. I need to start. Hey, manager, I need you emailing so and so and so. It take 10 grand. Ooh, I need us do a group. I need us giving $100 a week till we get to 10 grand. I need everybody. And here's the thing, lead singers, if you don't do right by your group, they ain't finna invest back into that song being successful because you barely pay them on gigs. They ain't finna give you a dime, and I don't blame them. That's why it's important to do right by people, because you don't want to only treat them like group members when you need something done. When it's time to make a decision, it's your group. When it's time to raise money, it's our group. No, sir. It's your group all of the time or our group all of the time. Choose. How is your group when you want to tell us what to do, but it's our group when it's time to buy suits? Amen, lights. How come it's your group when you want to tell us what to do, but it's our group when it's time to check up? Amen, lights. Amen, walls. That ain't gonna work, man. That ain't gonna work, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So, relevant messaging, relevant packaging. If we want to see the success of individual groups, if we want to see the numbers change, if we want to see the streaming numbers change, if we want to see the support change, the genre as a whole has to fast forward to exist in 2026. But individually, you can change your situation. If you are a lead singer, I'm going to say it again, that does not have the mental and emotional capacity to think beyond the glory days, you need to hire somebody, one, or number two, let them people in your group do it that already been. You already know there's people in your group that are capable. But you don't want to get at to them because your ego too big. Bro, they write better than you. They first of all, they sing better than you and they ain't quitting. I ain't gonna lie. If I was the lead singer of a group, here's the thing. Oh, let me break it down. I was gonna get off, but let me say it. You care more about your ego than the success of your group. That's problem number one. Because if we a group and the guy to the right of me sing better than me and write songs, all right. Spotlight, I got rent. I don't care who got the spotlight. I got rent to pay. And if he has the skill to help get my rent paid easier, put the light on him. Come here, son. Son. Sing another one. You crazy. You working hard. You working hard for a spotlight that's not generating income. You working hard for a spotlight that's not generating income. If this joker know how to write and sing, and you're like, man, this is my group. Ain't nobody getting more shine than me. But y'all can't pay y'all bills. The bill payer is going to sing, I'll lead the drive. There ain't no way. You care more about your ego than the success of the group. That's clear. Because there's people in the group who have what it takes to change things. I don't understand. I do understand. So when I say I don't understand, it's not because I literally don't understand. What I mean is, that's sad. Bruh. If you are hold on. If you are the lead singer of your group and you got an MD who understands what it takes to make great music, and you have a background singer who has an amazing gift to write and an amazing gift to sing, and your way is not lucrative, please share the spotlight. If not, be a unsuccessful solo artist and pay them to sing background on your tracks and pay that producer to make your songs, put them on a retainer for you to have a consistent catalog, and you go do whatever you want to with your tracks. But don't have people in your camp who have what it takes to help your group go to the next level, and you keep them down because you don't have the capacity to share the spotlight. And all y'all broke because of it. Bro, that's selfish, bro. Also, you can bust a house and get some cooch. You gonna keep your whole camp broke so that you can bust a house and get some cooch. When you got an MD that's capable of giving you a sound that's relevant, and you got a background singer who's capable of singing way better than you and can write his face off, her face off, and you not letting them do what they do because you don't want to share the spotlight. You don't want them to interfere with your cooch getting in your house busting while y'all going 12 miles for $800. I mean, 1,200 miles for $800. You telling them, man, take this 50, pay your dues? What? Insane. Don't do that, bro. That ain't right, bro. That ain't right, bro. That ain't right, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, that ain't right. Craft these songs. Craft the song. Hey, I'm going to get with a songwriter. I only know a few songwriters, and by a few, I mean 2. Y'all let me know of any songwriters that Josh Miles, Mario Smith. Y'all let me know some more songwriters that likes writing songs and will write songs for other people. Maybe we need to get a database of songwriters. But Josh Miles, Mario Smith, myself, just be like, hey man, I'm trying to do a single, I'm trying to do an album. Can we book a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week to just do writing sessions? Lead singer, background singers who lead. If y'all don't know how to write, but y'all know what y'all want to say, have conversations with a songwriter and then let the songwriter use the conversation to craft a song. And if your MD is capable of producing, cool. If he is not, let him sit in the room with the songwriter and the producer who is capable so that he can learn. That's how it works. Mario, Yo MD, and Stan Jones and you sit in a room together. Start the writing process. And Stan Jones is another writer. Incredible. Stan Jones, Mario Smith, Josh Miles, myself. I want to throw some women in there, but I don't know none. Y'all got to tell me who they are. If you watch this and you're a songwriter and you want to write quartet records, please inbox me. Sit in rooms and write these records and craft them. Like talk to the writers. Hey, I've been going through this. I want to talk about this. My wife experienced this. I want to talk about this. My husband experienced this. I've been thinking about this. I had the greatest promotion I've ever gotten in my job after 10 years. I thought it would never happen. Now I just got this crazy raise, and I just want to talk about what it means to for God to elevate you in patience. And I want a celebratory song that can kind of highlight how I feel right now because of this raise I just got at my job. Tell Mario that, tell Stan that, tell Josh that, tell me that, and then let us sit with the producer and the arrangers and be like, all right, let's give them a quartet line dance party celebratory record. We needed to feel like this. Let's use these kind of sounds because I heard this King George record, or I heard this EJ Jones record, or I heard this whatever, whatever. I heard this Megan Trainor record. I've been listening to Hitmaker. This is what they doing. We need to know, bro. We need to know the know. We need to know what's going on in the world of music. We got to get out of the bubble, bro. Then we got to bring that to what we do. Sit in the room, you tell them that story, you let them do the song, let them cut a demo. You come in, you show up, you sing. You let people produce that know how to produce. Okay, the song is finished. We got a videographer who does content. We got a videographer who does editing and content strategy. We're going to let them hear the song. Hey, man, we got this song. I want you to hear it. And how much would you charge us to do a music video and a 30-day content campaign? This how much it costs. All right. This how much we need to spend. All right, let's run it. All right, y'all, let's do a concert in our hometown, a 25 to 30 cap venue. And let's make sure we do a single release. We give everybody the single and the hoodie with the name of the song on it for free. Make sure we do a meet and greet with those 20 to 30 people. Make sure we capturing it. Same videographer. Can you come for that day? Yeah, I can come for that day. All right, be there. Have a backdrop with the little splatter stutter thing. Have people tell what they like about the song. Ask Lawson how much she costs to do 2 videos for you. Then be like, all right, I'm going to take this same song and I'm going to do a choir version of it. And I want to have a choir sing it. I'm going to call Will Johnson, then call Will and say, hey, Will, I got this single. How much would you charge to direct a choir for this song? Then you get the choir. Then you be like your group and the choir rehearsal. And then you have the video in the studio of you singing the song with the choir and Will. Then that's another video that the same videographer. Now you got 3 videos off one song. You got the daggone choir version. You got the music video. Then you got the single release. Then you did testimonials of people who like the song. That's micro content you could put out. Each person, let's say 10 people out of the 30 people told you what they like about the song. That's 10 different reels, YouTube shorts. I'm giving y'all game. You got Will teaching the parts of the song. That's more micro content. You got 3 videos and probably 45 small. You got 3 long form videos and probably about 40 short form videos out of one goddamn song. You do that campaign. Next thing you know, the song blow, it go viral. People start doing challenges. People make a line dance to it. You're going to get booked, man. Bookings is going to be the least of your worry when you're that intentional. Go sit down, talk to HT, go talk to For the Culture, go sit down with a bunch of people, do interviews, go sit down with Richard Brown, talk about the song and the career of the group. Go sit down at every podcast that will let you talk. Tell them to send those videos to your editor. That's micro content. We only talking about one song. And y'all putting out 10 songs at one time and ain't doing none of this on no day. That's why ain't nobody showing up. Is back in the day, they called it a rollout. They called it a marketing strategy. They call it a rollout plan. That's what they used to call it. All of these things that I'm telling y'all is what they used to call a rollout plan. And a rollout plan used to include having a street team. It used to include radio promotions. It used to include promotional tours. It used to include putting flyers on cars. Now It's making content and being on podcasts and hiring influencers. That's the new version. That's the new version. Same principle, new method. You need attention. When you went on the radio tours and you put the flyers on the cars and you went on whatever TV shows was local, you were doing it to you were doing it for awareness. You needed people to be aware so that they would go buy the song and come to the concert. Now you have to say, what are the tools and methods of 2026 for awareness? Podcast, social media content. Those are the new tools for awareness. Influencers, user-generated content, collaborations, sped up version, slowed down version, line dance. All of the talking and thinking that I just did, from you sitting down with a songwriter to this one song, that's like a 45-day campaign for one song with 3 long form videos and about 45 short form videos for one song that has a great message celebrating your come up from getting a raise at work after 10 years with a tempo that will allow people to dance to it, with influencers being hired, and an choir version with Will Johnson and the choir rehearsal presenting another version. So now they streaming. You got the regular version of the song. You got the sped up version of the song. You got the slowed down version of the song. You got the choir version of the song. You got 4 different SIRC codes off one song. Different people may like each song. So that's an EP with just one song. And you want to do 10 whole songs with no strategy. Bro, once you do that, once you do what I just said, something going viral. And if don't nothing go viral, the song sucked. And you need to try another song and do the same exact thing again. Mindset wise. The next one may not be a fast song. It may be a slow song. But you can follow the same principle, except for the line dance. You got to replace the line dance with something else. Let's say, hey man, I want to do a song about love. It's going to be inspirational. I still wanted to have our vibe. My sister's actually getting married soon, and her wedding is going to be dope. So I'm going to ask her if she wouldn't mind walking down the aisle to that song, have a videographer film it. If she's cool with it, her wedding could be the daggone music video. See why you need a thinker? You see why you need a thinker? So, bro, we ain't even got so my sister, she's spending a bunch of money on her wedding. So that's money we ain't even got to spend for a video. She said we could do it. Get videographers in there. The wedding already paid for. It's immaculate. The song is smacking. She gonna walk in. So now it's like, oh, dang, bro. We use their story to promote the song. Now you got a quartet wedding anthem. Now you didn't even have to do nothing. People saw the clip of your beautiful sister go down the aisle. And now everybody who having a wedding using the song, people who got wedding footage, wedding photographers, wedding videographers using your song in the background for user-generated content, you getting paid. Bruh, it's a song about love. God is love. My sister getting married. I sat down with Stan. Stan helped me write a song. Boom. My MD produced it. John Blast mixed it. The music video is my sister wedding. Wedding song, a quartet wedding song. While we talking about ain't he all right, we missing the bigger picture. Now guess what? Now, joint so crazy. Now a celebrity calls and says, hey, I'm getting married. I've been sending this song all over the internet. How much it'll cost? Name your price. It don't matter. How much it'll cost for you and your group to come perform this song? 30,000. Done. You getting 30 racks to go perform one song at a celebrity's wedding, while you out here trying to get to the Swanee's anniversary, man. Listen to what I'm saying. The highlight of your imagination is Albany. The peak you can fathom is when the Blockbuster used to be in Florence. You can't be the thinker. If the biggest gig you do this year is somebody's anniversary where you were there all day and got $1,000, you need to hire a thinker. Flat out. You need to hire a thinker. If the biggest you can think is somebody's anniversary where you been there since 4 and you sing at 11, when there's so much opportunity out here and so much money to be made and so many people to touch before you even gig. Man, there's a Southern soul artist. This is no lie, because I couldn't believe it myself. There's a Southern soul artist that posted a he's not a Southern soul artist. Let me stop that, because then that's not even true. He's an artist who has some Southern soul songs. He posted his distro kid, and it was either high 5 figures or 6 figures in the last year, I think. That ain't gigging. His distro kid. That means streams only. But the song has to be significant enough to have mass potential reach. That's the point I'm trying to make. The song has to be good enough to generate millions of streams. And if you do that on a consistent basis, and if you, instead of putting 10 songs out, that's what I'm saying. Instead of putting 10 songs out at one time with no strategy, take those 10 songs, create a strategy, put them out as singles over a year, and then after you run the same play. I just named 2 plays. If you take those 2 plays and run those 2 plays for all 10 songs based on what each song needs, if you do 10 studio songs and you run the sped up, slowed down, regular version, a feature version, content strategy for all 10 over a year's time, then you go back and you do a live recording at your anniversary. Instead of having a million groups at your anniversary, do a live recording of the 10 songs that you done all year. And then have the proper live arrangements. Now the 10-song album is the live versions of the singles that been going crazy all year. The place is going to be packed because the wedding people coming, the line dance people coming, the other people, the people who were the mama who was able to get through her daughter's surgery because of your song. She bringing her daughter and they gonna pay VIP. And everybody in the building gonna know the songs because they done heard them already all year on the studio versions. So now you got crowd participation content from your anniversary that can become crazy because you can do what Lisa did and don't put all of it out, make it a membership thing. Bruh. And you trying to get to an anniversary. No, you need a thinker, bruh. Hire a thinker who understands how to move in today's landscape. Get a radio promoter who says, hey, yo, you know that line dance song? Bruh, I know this radio promoter, yo. If we pay this radio promoter $1,200 a month, which means you got to be making money to be able to afford the $1,200 a month. And I don't even know. That might be too low. But for the sake of the conversation, the example, yo, I got this radio tracker, this radio promoter. You pay them $1,200 a month. They could take this line dance song that's already going dumb on the internet and get it on the radio. And we could get it. I know we can get it charted. Let's do $1,200 a month for 10 months. That's 12 grand. You only got to pay it the first of the month every month. Hey, bruh, I just got you an interview on the Tom Joyner Morning Show for this song, bruh. Same goddamn song. So now you having a 803 Fresh run, and you a quartet artist. People didn't think Southern Soul could do it. Southern Soul is quartet, so you can do it too. It's not rocket science. Bro, your song, that wedding song done went so crazy, bro. The Breakfast Club called, bro. What? Yes, dog. They want you on the Breakfast Club, bro. Yo, oh my God, bro. Jay-Z and Beyonce renewed their vows, bro, and they used your song. If you have limiting beliefs, what I'm saying sounds impossible. But if you believe that you're capable and you're willing to get out of your own way and hire people who think the way I'm talking, anything is possible. Anything is possible. It just takes a level of intentionality that goes past throwing a song together and doing a gig. Throwing a song together and doing a gig is just not the vibes, bro. It's just not the vibes. Not in 2026. Not if you want a successful, lucrative career where you can take care of your team without them having to do gigs and the promoter not give them their money. I got to give that disclaimer because there are some people who are content with that cycle. And if you are content with that cycle, don't hire people who want greater. Because then you're going to change the narrative when they quit. If you are content, hire people who don't want more than what you want. If you're going to hire ambitious people, you have to be ready to get out of the way so that y'all can get to the highest level possible, or you will lose them. If smashing chicks or dudes, because the ladies be out here too, if smashing and buzzing houses is your priority, do not hire young, ambitious people. Because it's an insult and it's disrespectful, bro. Because we live in a world where the young people got the juice. And if you have the experience and you have the patience and you have the wisdom to get out of the way, You can bring the forces of your experience. You can join the forces of their experience. Your experience, I'm sorry, with their gift, and it's out of here. But I'm getting a call that I got to take. So I got to get up out of here. I love y'all. Peace.